Hi, this is Stacia, and welcome back to round one of the Kings Island Open. I thought I would show you that I made the background into Kings Island. See, like the giant chess king back there? Okay, anyway. Um, so just quickly to just go through the game and show where we're at. We stopped at move 40 last time. What we had was a Colle system where I played c5, and basically I played this move h6, avoiding Greek gift sacrifices that didn't need to be avoided. And as a result, I got a bit of a worse position where my bishop on c8 was a problem. But after some interesting middle game maneuvers, I get to play e5 and get my bishop into the game. And after this happens, yeah, rook a6 kind of turned the tides a little bit. I felt like I was equal and maybe even a little bit better here. And that move's kind of not good. And that move's not good either because infiltrating is a mistake. After rook c8, that knight will get trapped. So anyway, we ended up in this position, and my opponent played g3 on move 40, and I had a few seconds left, and I played knight to e5. I gave it the blunder mark because I don't like this move. I don't know if it's actually a blunder. No, it is a blunder. So black was, I guess, winning before this move, but okay, so I guess we could start with that. What should black play? I like the idea of the knight continuing to stop that knight from entering d4. So actually playing something like king c4 might be possible. There's this check. Yeah, I don't know what happens there. I guess I'd have to go back. Maybe I could go here and just push the majority. Not totally sure. Let's see what the engine says. The engine says, yeah, just go f4 right away. Just leave your king where it's at, play f4. And if you get this position, this is better for black according to the computer. Okay, yeah, and that it does make sense. I considered that, but I was in time pressure, and okay. So yay, I made time control. Now I've got 30 minutes on my clock, which is like my total amount of time when I play at Parma. But then I looked at the board and I was like, you know what? Did I just blunder? Because this knight is attacking two things. I'm not quite sure how I defend both of them. So this is where we start this endgame battle. And if you didn't catch it before, this is the longest game time-wise that I've ever played because it was like 5.5 hours long. And we were definitely by far the last ones left in the playing hall. Tournament directors were irritated with us. It was a good old time. But I'm proud of myself that I didn't just offer a draw in this position. You know, I decided that I could press from here. So I found this move, f4. Saves the pawn on f5. And if he takes here, I had some ideas. So he actually took and played h3. Yeah, so what happens on that move? I was thinking, do you recall there was something I had in mind? If he takes here, can I just go king c4? It's a question. King c4, he goes here, so that doesn't work. What about, ooh, I know what I was planning. Knight f3 maybe. Does that do anything? Oh, I know what I was planning. Knight g4. There we go. I remember I had a good idea, but it's been a full week now, so I don't totally remember. Yeah, so that move would win a pawn, I'm sure. Right? So he can't really push this because then that. And if he pushes this, then that. I mean, this is just winning. So I thought this was winning at least. Computer says no. White can play A4 and let me take, apparently. I'm really shocked by this. I mean, I would take. Okay, it says G takes F4 and then A5. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm convinced. Okay, but I'm turning the computer back off now. I'm not good at endgames. It's not really my strong suit. I rarely get them, and I even more rarely get them when I have time on my clock. But hey, I know how the pieces move, so I should be able to do something, right? So my opponent played H3. I did think this was a question mark. And then I played knight to D3. Hard not to play that move, right? That's a pretty good knight. I could have also tried some other stuff here, such as king c4 that does protect the pawn. But I don't know. Maybe he goes here and attacks that. So I wasn't exactly sure. So I went here, and that attacks a pawn. And then I was really hoping for the move f3, which he did play. And now I actually have a move that wins. And I have another move that I played. So if you want to find the winning move, go ahead and do so now. So I need to stay more objective during chess games because I was like, please play f3, please play f3. Because I saw this little trick with knight takes b4 check. And I thought this was great. It must be winning. If he goes here, I just come back. Like, how is this not winning? But there was an even better move. I could have played this check. And I do believe the idea. So first of all, let's say, okay, let's say he tries to do counterplay. How could that happen? Let's say he goes here, stopping my king from coming into c4, which means that he can win this pawn and push the a pawn. Against that, I could just take. Yeah, and I don't think he can take because that is way too fast, right? So he couldn't take there. He would have to do something else, like potentially, like what? Like this? Yeah, but I don't think that works either because I have check. And if here, maybe I can just push the pawn, possibly. Or maybe I go here. I'm not sure, but engine says black is better here. And I'm sure I had better earlier too. So like if they played this, I'll see what the computer wants now. It actually wants, oh, it does want e takes f3. Because they're going to have to just sack their knight. If they don't, I'm not sure what's going on. Computer gives knight takes b5, but this looks like I'm going to make a queen. So, okay, whatever, computer. I guess that means there's nothing better. Okay, but in the game, I didn't play this way. He also could try to just stop me, like with this move. But then I was planning this. I looked at this line. I didn't realize that this was completely winning. I was not sure at all, which is funny. I thought he might have ideas with like this, distract my pawn, play here, here, and queen. But it turns out that here, if he tries to stop my pawns, I just play, what? F2 check it gives, or king c4. Oh, yeah, a king e5 wins too. So I thought this, I wasn't sure about this. Because he stops my pawns and then what? I wasn't sure. But, I mean, I can just run and take these pawns. I think that should be winning. This pawn's kind of far for the white king to get and then promote. And then it's a rook pawn. My pawns are closer. I can like take, you know, I don't know. So it turns out that this was a winning line. So I kind of regret that I didn't play that, but that's okay. We learn. Is this the actual line? Is this how the game went? Yeah, F3. Okay, takes. So he couldn't take back because he loses the knight. So I just simply come back now. He played here. I take. Okay, this is still -8 for black. So I wasn't wrong about that move. Yeah, and then I played here, which is kind of funny. It's like the same trick. You know, if he takes, I take the knight. But, okay, but he went here, which I thought he would. And I took here. Engine says that's a mistake. Now, something I need to learn about endgames. It's funny. It's like, as you get stronger in chess and you learn so much about it and you hear every principle, every once in a while, because I'm not a grandmaster, right? I'm 1700. Every once in a while, I'll hear a principle that sounds kind of foreign to me. And my coach said it like, of course you should think, can you push your pawn? Like anytime you have a passed pawn, the first thing you look at is, can you push your pawn? And of course he means push it and then calculate what happens. Well, like, yeah, like I don't do that. I realize that just sounds foreign to me. Like I never do that. And I had this problem at the Ohio Congress too. So like I should be calculating this and looking at just F3. Like look at F3, right? Like what happens on F3? Okay, I mean he can check me. Like, okay, like that's true. He can move his knight and check me. Okay, but what if I go like King E3? Okay, he can check me again. Now he's just chasing me, you know, into position here. So I don't think, you know, I don't think this is the right way. This just seems, oh, actually I just hung my knight. But I could play here first, maybe. Wait, what? Actually, what do I do here? Actually, this isn't as simple as I thought it might be. He could check me again. Like, is it hard to get out of the checks? Like, or do I just go here? Like, can I play this? I don't know. Let's say 93. Yeah, actually I can't do this. This is losing now. Okay, but I should be calculating lines like that. And I don't think I really did that. And I don't think I ever practiced that. So that is something that I want to work on. But yeah, I don't get endgames that much. So after, oops, let's go back to the game. Okay, in the game 92, but there's really just two key moments I want to show you. We looked at one of them, that 91 check thing. There's another one that is coming up. Okay, so I took here, but I mean, black's still better. Check. Yeah, I like this move because the problem with this move is he can check me. And that's kind of annoying. Like if I move away, he wins my knight, followed by the pawn. And if I go here, let's see. Probably knight c3 check is fine. He could also possibly take this pawn. I guess f3 is winning again. I would have to calculate. Oh, that's definitely winning. Yeah, that's definitely winning. Okay, never mind. So he can't take the pawn. I think I saw that during the game, actually. But anyway, I saw that he could just check me like that. So I went king d4, which I thought was a good move. Engine approves. Knight f2. knight check, king 5, king e4 here, and now h5. So I liked h5. Let's see what the engine says. Engine says play f3. So if you can push your passed pawn, you should push it. One thing I like about this move, it takes that square away from the king. And if they want to sack, I don't think that's working out. I can take here or take here. I'm going to queen. My knight can come to the rescue over here even. So in the actual game, I went h5. I think I was restricting something. I was trying to remember what though. Something like, I was worried about something like this after I pushed the pawn. I'm not sure. Okay, and he went here. And finally I go f3, king c3. And here there's a winning move for black. So if you want to pause your video and find it, go ahead and do so now. So unfortunately, I was down to 5 minutes again, so I don't think I even looked very long. I just played this move, which is the winning move. But after king d2, now we can play f2. This is what I missed. f2 just wins. There's no knight h3, and there's no stopping the queen from appearing on the board, right? Because, like, if here, I mean, I just queen this way, and, you know, if he takes the knight, I queen this way or this way. So he can't really stop this. And if he moves the knight, I still queen. There's no way to move the knight and protect. In fact, that knight's kind of like trapped. Go here. And then I queen. Yeah. So anyway, this is the way it should have gone. Instead, somehow I didn't play that. I went check, but then I went knight to e3. So I remembered that I was a little bit low in time and I wasn't sure about f2 somehow. So I thought I would just waste time because it's 30-second increment. So always repeat. So he went here again. Again, I can go f2. I think f2 is winning again. I went check. This is still good too. I could still go f2 here. But instead, I somehow played this move. And I thought, ooh, I'm escorting my pawn. You can't stop me. Yay, I'm going to win. But yes, he can. He takes. 2 pieces are hanging. So that was really unfortunate. So I took, and, you know, I was definitely, you know, in time pressure again, unfortunately. But let's learn from this game, because another chance to win comes up, if you can believe that, because this looks like a draw. I played h4. Now, I was worried about what? H4 helps me race, because there is a racing variation here, right? Like, I'm going to run and take white's pawn. They're going to run and take my pawn. And then we're both going to promote. Whoever is faster wins. So I actually like h4 because I don't want him to play h4 himself, which will keep my pawn farther away. And my king will have to go 1 step closer. So I just played here, which makes sense. And he went here. Now, I know now this is a blunder. But during the game, I'll tell you what I saw. I saw a variation like this. I was like, oh no. He's going to trap me and I'm going to be in Zugzwang. And I'm going to have to move my pawn. And he's going to win. Like, that's horrible. I don't think I can allow that. Now, I did this in seconds. So, but it actually turns out that that variation is not just drawn, it's actually winning. It's actually winning. Yeah, because like after this, you have to calculate that variation, but also the race. If you can calculate both of those, then and they're both winning, then you win. You can play king g3. Now, how I should have seen, in which Brian Castro, my training partner, pointed out after the game, is that after king to h2 and king f2 take the opposition, this is not like a normal thing. Black gains a tempo with h3, right? Like now black gets the opposition. It's white's turn. And white is in zigzag here. They can't push the pawn. That's pretty obvious. They can't go here because my king runs out. And I go eat the white pawn. And that variation is winning. And I would know that intuitively. And if they go here, we go king g1. Now we really are escorting. So it's actually white that ends up in zigzag, not black. So I just kind of missed that I would have a tempo here. So I made a flashcard of that already. And I will be reviewing it. I'll never forget that again, trust me. Okay. Forget that. I never learned that idea, honestly. Now, if I had time on my clock, could I figure that out? Yeah, I think I could. I just didn't have enough time, unfortunately. So, okay. There. And let's look at the race version as well, because if we go here and he just goes for the pawn, one nice thing is that the black pawn is taking away c5, so he would have to go here. And that is why d4 is a blunder, I think. I think prior to king d4, I believe it was just a draw. But after this move, he's actually one step farther from the pawn. So it would go, let's see. You can just count usually. 1, 2, let's just say here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will queen on h1. And if we look at the white position, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They will queen on h8. Now, one thing I notice immediately is that those queens will be communicating. And the other thing I notice is that my king is in the line of fire. So in my variation, I was putting the king on g2. I think we're going to have to put the king on g3 to avoid that check, right? If we queen and then they queen with check, it's going to be a draw. But if we queen and then they queen, we just take it. So that's different, right? So yeah, it turns out that this is how the race part would go. Like this. King g3 exclam. Don't blunder with this. And now they go here. Yeah, and actually this is even worse. Yeah, and so I'll ask you, if you know queen versus pawn on the 7th, you might be saying, oh no, Stacia's a draw. No, it's not a draw. We go here. That's a win. That's a win. If you get your queen there, it's a win. So that was that. That would be that. So yeah, king d4 was a mistake. So, but watch what we do. I go here. Now he goes back. I go here. Now he runs for the pawn. Now this is a little different, right? So this is different. Now I go here and the race is on, and this is what happened in the game. Ooh, and I stepped right into check too. Oh, I did this on purpose actually, because I saw he's the one queening first. And if I go king g3, it's king g3 that's the blunder now. You'll see what I mean in a second. Queen's keeping my king out. I can't promote. It's guarding that as well. And if I go here, white wins. So this time you have to go king g2, even though it walks into check. The idea is that in this variation, now there is no queen h1 because that would have won the game. So, okay, and I know this to be a theoretical draw. There's only one real thing you have to watch out for. You have to watch out that the queen doesn't get close enough that she checks you. You go king h1. And then she plays somehow from somewhere, somewhere, Queen F1 checkmate. Do not allow that little trick. But I was well aware of that. My opponent tried anyway, even though we were making the tournament directors wait. He was trying and trying. I'm like, look, I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna blunder Queen F1 mate. I could, I guess. No, I was not going to. Okay, so anyway, so we got a draw, and he actually played a lot more moves than this, but I didn't enter them in the computer because it was really silly. So unfortunately, though, I should have had a win like at least 3 times. So that is disappointing, but out like getting out of a bad opening and outplaying a 1900 in the middle game, that part I like a lot. And well, I'll be working on my endgames more because this is not the first time that I've missed a win due to not knowing the endgame well enough. So that's gonna be very necessary for me to perform well at these slow time control tournaments. But at any rate, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll be back with round 2. So I will see you then. Okay, bye.